Hey, welcome everybody to this episode of Home-Based Business 101. I am Meredith Banka. I'm the founder of the Side Gig Gurus and also creator of this podcast, Home-Based Business 101, that I stream live into our private membership group. So I'm just going to pull up the group, make sure that people are having a chance to jump in here and say hello this evening. We switched up the time of this weekly live broadcast because we wanted to make sure that it was available to more people. And as you can maybe tell, if you're watching the video version of this, it's definitely getting cooler where I am. And I've got my winter jacket on, and that should tell you that it means the time is going to change soon, and we are going to be cozying down in the evenings when the weather changes. And that's a great way to tune in to Home-Based Business 101 in the evening rather than midday. So if you do end up catching this episode live tonight, I'd love for you to just drop into the comments, let me know who you are and where you are from, and then we can say hello and chat a little bit about what we're going to talk about tonight, which is our topic, 3 pillars of planning. So it kind of hit me in about the last week or so. I don't know if it's kind of this back to school vibe and getting really organized around all my kids' activities after having had the summer off and all those kinds of things. But I thought to myself, wow, there's only a couple weeks left in September, and then we're headed into the fourth quarter. And I like to call the fourth quarter actually the zero quarter, because it is the prep quarter for next year. It is the time from October to December where you should really be laying the groundwork of what's going to happen in your business. And I would argue not just your business, but also your life, what's going to happen in your life for the next year. Because if you're waiting until January to write your budget, write your annual plan, make your arrangements for all the different and amazing things you're going to do in your life, then you're kind of behind the curveball, and you spend January doing that. And then all of a sudden it's mid-February, and shoot, half of the first quarter is already gone. So I'm going to encourage all of you, no matter where you are in your home-based business journey, I'm going to encourage all of you to go ahead and begin formulating a plan, not only for the fourth quarter, which, by the way, is a really great quarter in home-based business, especially if you're any kind of product or service-based company that's going to offer any kind of holiday specials. We'll probably talk about that in an upcoming episode, but you can use this planning methodology I'm going to teach you tonight to actually plan your holiday promotions and what you're going to get done in the fourth quarter, and also outline your whole entire year for next year. So I don't know about you, but that sounds pretty exciting to me. So I love to be organized. I love to have a plan to work from, because it makes me feel like I have clarity in where I am going in my business. It allows me to really separate. I mean, as you can see, I work from home. You probably work from home. Even if you don't have a business or you are working to build one, you may very well also be working at home because of COVID. And that just really can be challenging at times, can't it be, when you've got so many distractions? So having a clear plan to work from is absolutely key in having a successful business. So we're going to break this into 3 pillars for you tonight. And the first pillar is operations. The second pillar is strategy. And the third pillar I call administration. So as I build my quarterly and even monthly plans for my business, I break things down into these 3 areas. Now, let's talk a little bit about operations. The first area, if you come from a traditional business background, you might think of operations in terms of manufacturing or production. And that's kind of what we're talking about here in relationship to home-based business. Definitely a part of what we're thinking about, but it's a little bit broader definition that I like to use. So this is really the day-to-day of your business. Do you know all of the things that need to happen in your business every day, every week, every month? There are repeated tasks, repeated activities that you do in your business. Now, the difference between operations and our last category, which is administration, is that I like to look at operations as really the sales and marketing engine of my business. And again, if you've got traditional business background, you might, not love my terminology, but bear with me here because it all will make sense. This is what you're going to do, your daily mode of operation. And as a small business owner, you're going to end up spending a lot of your time on the sales and marketing side of things. even if you make your own product or deliver your own service, if you're a coach or a maker of some kind, you're still going to need to spend a significant amount of time in sales and marketing, and you're going to need to have focus on that on a daily basis. So what are the tasks that need to happen in your business every day? A lot of these have to do with social media. Are you posting to your social media every day? Are you responding to comments? Are you getting new followers? Are you getting new comments or getting new messages? Are you getting new DMs from people? Are people responding to your emails? Are they doing anything that's going to require you to engage with them? And are you keeping track of all of that? So what are the things that need to happen in your business every single day? These should really be revenue generating activities, lead generating activities, and relationship building activities. That's what should fall into this category. So do you send out some kind of a customer email at some level of frequency, whether that is monthly, whether that is weekly, maybe even bi-weekly? I mean, however often you're sending it. Are you communicating with customers regularly? Are you using text messages to do that? Do you have some kind of a community, a Facebook group or something along those lines that you're using as a chat community with people? And how often are you posting there? Because if you want your revenues to grow, one great place to do that is to go where your revenue already came from, which is your current customers. So in this first section, what I want you to do is just to brainstorm. What are all of the things that need to happen every single week when it comes to marketing, communications, social media, lead generation, lead follow-up, customer management? And if you have any kind of team that you're working with, this could be a staff that are working for you. These could be employees. What are the things that you need to make sure happen for them each and every week? Or if you're on the network marketing and direct sales side of things, this could be your larger downline, the group of people that you're working with. How are you helping them along each week? Do you have trainings in your offices? Do you have trainings on Zooms? Who's delivering those? How do they work? Are you building content for your business? Like I have a weekly to-do of this live broadcast. I have a weekly to-do of making sure that a podcast gets created from this live broadcast and that it gets posted onto the channels where the podcast is distributed. So what other things are you doing each week that are going to generate revenue? Brainstorm the list. And guys, you can do this right now. And I'd love for you, Karen and Tarina that are watching us live here tonight, I'd love for you guys to drop in the comments some of the things that you are doing weekly that fall into this operational category. So what are they? What are the things that you're working on? And then I want you to break them down. Some of them are going to be things that don't need to happen every day, but they maybe need to happen every week. So you need to know what those are. You need to make that list. If they are things that need to happen every single day, then how are you holding yourself accountable? And in my world, a group of women that I work with, we have a daily checklist. So one of the ways that we keep ourselves accountable is we have a daily checklist of the things that we need to do in relationship to building our business. And we keep track of those every single day in the business. This can also apply to how you are doing other parts of your life. So maybe you also like to work out. Maybe you like to do some mindset work. Maybe you really watch what you eat or your intake of water. Maybe you have certain supplements that you take. Maybe you have certain routines that you do in your day that you really want to keep track of. This is a great way to do that as well. Make yourself a blown out checklist. You know, in my course, Side Gig Genius, I offer this checklist to small business owners to utilize and to edit for themselves as one of the 9 lessons that are in there, because so many people are not engaging and not having the dedication every day in their business. And you may not be able to every single day. Then you're just going to have to get even more organized so that you can get done what you need to get done in the time that you have to do it. And you can absolutely build your side gig very, very, very part-time or even spare time if that's what you have the ability to do. But the more limited your time, I would say, the more regimented you're going to need to be around which activities you're going to complete when. So that's going to be your operational plan. And it's probably not going to change that much over time. This is the steady drumbeat, day-to-day activity that you are doing in order to generate leads, generate sales, and generate revenue in your business. Some of these activities you might outsource, and your personal action might be to keep track of them or to follow up on them or to get reports from them. That's fine. Go ahead and add those in here as well. Now, the second part of the three pillars, the second of the 3 pillars, is all about strategy. So what are your strategies going to be in the next year or say 5 quarters to grow your business. These should be the big ideas. Are events coming back in your town? Is your town opening up a little bit and you really enjoy doing event marketing, meeting new people, sharing or selling your products directly in events? Are you going to be releasing any new big piece of content, a book, a podcast? Are you going to be introducing any kind of new community? Are you going to be developing a new website? Are you going to be building a new funnel? Are you going to be integrating a new payment system? Are you going to be integrating a new email service provider? Are you going to be integrating, any kind of new technology into your business? These are strategies. And sometimes, especially when we're very much solopreneurs, we have a hard time balancing between the operations, the strategies, and our last category, which was administration. And what I see happening is that we often gravitate towards the strategies and we often gravitate towards the administration, and we leave the operations, the daily revenue generating activities of our business on the table. We don't follow up with them. Or I see people in my client world, in my coaching program that I offer, I see them in the strategy category trying to do too many things at once. And because they create a situation of overwhelm for themselves, then the operations and administration in their business also fall off. And we don't want that to happen. So these strategy things that you're going to write down and brainstorm, this should be where your next incremental level of growth in your business is going to come from. So let's take, for example, someone who makes a handmade product. There are a lot of you here in this group that do that. Let's say that you make a handmade product. And let's say that you are currently selling that through Facebook, through Marketplace, through a client list, and through events. And you really feel like you want to take this online with your own Etsy shop or some other version of an online shop. That online shop has the potential to significantly increase your revenues because you're going to be reaching an entirely new audience. But it's also a pretty big project to get that done. But it is a strategic project. Another example of this would be taking all of your financials and putting them into a more robust system like a QuickBooks. If you're not doing something like that already, or you haven't hired that done already, and you're managing your financials out of a spreadsheet, or maybe not managing them very well at all and trying to pull that information together, then it would be a strategic move for you to have a better understanding of your financials, because if you put that into a system, then you would have the ability to move it into your administrative category instead of having it in the category of, oh my gosh, every time I have to deal with my financials, I'm stressed out. Then you could move that there or even outsource it. But you've got to strategically put in place the record keeping, the systems, the tracking that you're going to need in order to make sure that would happen. Another example of a great strategy would be research. Are you going to be implementing something new and you need to do a little bit of research about it? Are you going to be expanding your product offering and you need to do a little bit of competitive research to see what's going on out there? That would be something that would be a pretty significant and have the potential to really up level your revenue. And before you totally redo your offer structure, you should really be looking at what's going on in the marketplace, having an understanding of it, and then moving into another big project, which could be adding something to your offer strategy. We've talked here before about having a low ticket, mid ticket, and high ticket offer. Very common in online marketing right now to have something low, $7 to $30 that you're bringing leads in with, then convert them to a purchase with you, and then into a longer term program. This is a very traditional sales strategy that's used, but it takes a little bit of work and a little bit of planning to put something together like that for you, especially if you're developing your own intellectual products. If you're developing courses, coaching programs, things along those lines, you really need to put the time in to understand what those offers are going to be and how they attract your audience. So that would be another option in this strategy section. For those of you that are in the direct sales and network marketing space, what do you know that is coming up from your company? Are you going to get new brands? Are you going to get new products? Is something going to be rolled out that's new and exciting? And do you know that that's forthcoming at a certain point in time? If you do, if you have that insight into what's going on, then that would be some kind of a strategic launch for you. And if you repeatedly have something new like this coming into your business, I would argue that you could even make a launch strategy so that every single time a new product came, if you didn't get a lot of forewarning, it wouldn't matter because you would have a process that you used, a launch strategy that you could deploy like that to get it out to your customers, to get it out to your warm market, to get it out to the cold market, to put some kind of new lead capture or lead magnet in association with that offer out there and bring brand new people in to take a look at what you've got. But in order to do that, you've strategically got to be prepared. So other strategies could be implementation of big systems. We already talked about QuickBooks, but what about marketing systems? What types of things like that are you thinking that you want to do in this next year? Are you going to write a book? Are you going to write an ebook? Are you going to release some new piece of content that's going to require you to do some planning and some creation? Okay, those are all strategies. These are not quick, get them done every day actions. These are longer term, going to take you anywhere from a couple of weeks to several months to be able to implement these. You want to have foresight into what these are, and then you want to begin breaking them down into pieces. What's the first step? If I'm going to offer new products, my first step is going to be research, like describing it. What is it? Why am I doing it? Who wants it? Who needs it? But then I'm also going to go and look who's already doing that. What are they charging? What is their, sales rate, their follow rate? What is happening in their world? And how do I pull that into mine? Well, it's going to take me a little bit of time to do that because we can't forget I'm still over here in the operations section doing my steady drumbeat every day. You can't just shut that off, expect revenues to continue to come in the door of your business and put yourself entirely into strategy. It's one of the dances that we do as solopreneurs or owners of very small businesses. We kind of have our hands in everything. So you've got to figure out a way to plan these things out over the course of time. So make a list of your strategies and then look at a calendar and say, what sequential order does it really make sense to do these in and why? And then how long, honestly, do you think each one of them is going to take? I would put no more than a max of 3 strategic projects in any one quarter. And in fact, I would really recommend that you're only ever working on 2 at a time. It's just too much. If you want to be able to execute on them right, if you want to be able to do them well, then you've got to make sure that you've got that in place. All right, let's talk about our last pillar. And the last pillar is what I like to call administration. And I was talking to a group earlier today, and I said, we were on Zoom, and I said, does anybody, I said, use your little reaction button or raise your hand. Like, does anybody actually like to clean the bathroom at their house? Because I don't really know anybody that likes to clean the bathroom, but you know what? We all know the bathroom has to get cleaned. So this administration list is like cleaning the bathroom of your business. What are the things that have to happen in your business in order for it to operate? You may be doing 100% of those things right now because of where you are in building your business, and that is okay. But if you know what these things are, and again, you have an idea of how much time they take, when they need to happen, then you can get organized around them and you can just get them done. You can just knock them out. You can just move on. But you can also create some goals for yourself and an overarching longer term plan that says like, okay, I am only going to do my own financials for 2 more quarters. I am going to have made enough money by the end of the second quarter of 2022 to be able to outsource my financials. Or I'm only going to run my own Facebook ads or my own Instagram, or I'm going to hire a VA to take on my customer email campaigns or whatever it is that you need to outsource in your business. These are administrative tasks. They have to happen. They're a must do, but they aren't revenue generating that directly. They are not directly revenue generating. Let me lay that down again. They are not directly revenue generating. That is the difference between the operational category, I like to call it, and I call it operational because it is the daily mode of operation for your business when it comes to revenue generating activity. Then administration, it could be the daily running of your business, but it is not revenue generating. This is the turning the lights on, the cleaning the toilet, the doing the things that, just simply have to happen in the business for it to operate. If you need any kind of material goods to run your business, do you need raw material? Do you need boxes for shipping? Do you need any of those kinds of things? It's like acquiring those. That's one of the things here. You don't make any money when you place your order at Amazon for padded envelopes and paper and, gift wrap or cute bags to put your beautiful necklaces and jewelry or whatever it is you make into, but you have to have those things. And the last thing that you want to have happen is heading into a busy sales season and turning around, having a bunch of orders to fulfill and not having the things that you need to be able to fulfill them, right? But if you don't keep these things going, then that's kind of what can happen. And I'll give an example here. My husband is notorious in his business for getting to the middle of November and going, oh, I should have ordered more merchandise for the holiday season. I should have ordered more branded merchandise. I'm already sold out. And so this year I said to him, October 15th, that's your deadline. You've got to pick everything that you want for the holiday season no later than October 15th. Have it queued up, have it ordered, have it ready to go so that you can get great stuff into your business and get your brand out there by having people buy this and have gifts and the things that they want. So sometimes it just takes a little bit of accountability. And if you don't have anybody doing that for you, you got to make that list, because you know what? October 15th is going to come every single year. And he's going to need to get those materials and those promo items ordered every single year. But if he doesn't remind himself to do that in this administrative planning process, then he does oh shoot, it's October 15th again. And I don't have the merchandise I need. And now everybody's sold out and the timelines are too long. So that's what you don't want to have happen. This is busy work. This is ordering. This is financials. This could also be things that you only need to do like once a year, but they always kind of come up and surprise you. Maybe you have certain bills that need to be paid. Maybe you have certain events that you do, certain things you need to sign up for, licenses that you need to review or renew. These are all of those administrative things. I think starting this process is really best done by just sitting down and saying, okay, I'm just going to dump my brain today. I'm just going to sit here and go, here's all the things that need to happen. Oh my gosh, here's all the things I want to be doing. Here's all the things that help me to generate income in my business, and just write them down and write them down and write them down and put them in one of these three categories, and then build a plan where you just slowly start knocking them off. Slowly start knocking them off. I'm really excited because we just came out of one of the first challenges that I've done in our Side Gig Gurus group. And it was a 5-day marketing challenge where we went through what we call our Side Gig Gurus marketing game plan. And we helped people to create a marketing plan for their business. Now, those of you that did that, you can now take these 3 pillars of planning, and you can take that marketing plan and you can start to put a time frame against it. Okay, when am I going to write that book? When am I going to release that course? When am I going to open that center? When am I going to make that new offer strategy come to life? You can now take that marketing game plan and you can apply these 3 pillars of planning to it, and you can create a plan for execution. Now, if you don't have the marketing plan, don't worry, because we're going to be doing another 5-day marketing challenge in October. So that's coming up really, really soon. If that's something that you think you might want to participate in, you can, of course, drop a comment below here. I'm going to be sharing some testimonials for the people who actually participated the last time in the group, so you can check those out. And if you're catching this on Spotify or Apple, you're catching Home Based Business 101 as a podcast, honestly, the best thing for you to do is hop over into Facebook and join the Side Gig Gurus group. That's where I actually go live with these episodes and also share other great tips on marketing, like these 3 pillars, and on running and planning your small home-based business. So thank you, everybody, for being with me here tonight. I so appreciate this. Just looking at the comments from people that are in the group. Yeah, absolutely appreciate that, Karen. She's saying like daily reaching out, commenting to people. These are the things that I need to do in my business. These are the conversations that I need to be having. This is what I need to do. So just keep working on that list. Keep this running. I have a huge whiteboard right here of my 3rd quarter planned out. In this next weekend or so, I will bring it down and I will replan the 4th quarter. And I guess I'll wrap up tonight by saying, I don't ever make a habit of saying, like, looking at my list that I have up there, There are a couple things on the list that are not going to be done by September 30th, but I plan aggressively and other opportunities have come my way this quarter. So I just look and say, okay, cool. How much of that did I get done? Wow, look, I got like 85% of what I wanted to get done. I'm feeling pretty good about that because I'm working from this plan. It's kind of like a budget for those of you that work in financials. As soon as you write it, it's going to change. That's why you've got a forecast. So write this plan, identify your pillars, but don't tie yourself to it in a sense where you start to use it as a way to like beat yourself up if it doesn't happen exactly the way that you planned. But I will guarantee you this. If you follow these 3 pillars, if you dive in, especially and do the marketing game plan with us in the challenge, I will guarantee you that you will be more successful in the next quarter of your business. There is no way that you can't. These are proven processes that I have used now to launch 5 different businesses in the last 9 years that I have been working from home, every one of them profitable and every one of them successful. And that's only happening because I'm following a proven process that I've learned and developed over time. And these 3 pillars of planning are absolutely a key part of that. So again, thanks everyone for joining in. Happy to see you here. Thanks for taking a listen to Home Based Business 101. You can always book a free discovery session with me at meredithbanka.com or hop on over to the Side Gig Gurus group in Facebook. Either way, we'll see you again soon. Take care and be safe out there, everybody.